Hey, this is the intro to digital music production level 3. Go through this bit by bit. There's a PDF in the Teams files section for you to go through at your own speed, but I'm going to explain it as we go through. So make any notes, ask any questions as I go through it. Okay, so this is the team. I'm Stu, whatever. I've been teaching music tech here for about 20 years now. I also do production when I'm not here. Will Brown's the other lecturer. He also works as a producer, composer when he's not here. We both work part-time. We've got Merv Carswell, who's studio manager. He lives in the room next to G65. And Alex Kachuba, who's a technician, who actually did the course, this course about 12 years ago. And he lives he's in the room just around the corner along the corridor. So any problems, come and see any four of us, whoever's actually in that day. Email us if you're concerned about anything to do with the course or anything at college or whatever. Let us know. We are here to help. Right, what do you need to get the best out of this? Well, firstly, we recommend getting some of your own headphones. There are headphones in the classroom and the studio, but they're not very good. If you really want to get good at this, you really need to hear what's going on, and also for health and safety reasons at the moment in particular, get your own headphones. If you are ready to buy some, let us know. We'll give you some recommendations. You don't need to spend a fortune, but we do recommend getting something at some point, not necessarily immediately. You will need to be on the internet at home, or be able to get into college or somewhere with a good internet connection, so we can run any lessons online. This is the first year we've done this, of course, so it's going to be challenging for everyone. So we'll just have to work and find our own way to work through that. So, but initially, just make sure you've got very good internet connection and you can communicate with us. That is the most important thing: communication. Spotify. You need a Spotify account. They're free. It's just that I'll be making some listening exercises and giving you links, and I want you to give me links in some of your work, so we're all listening to the same version. YouTube's not that great. The sound quality is not brilliant, and also you end up watching the video and not listening to the music. So it's not a course in film production, even though video making is a whole art form in itself. This is about music production, so you really need to be able to listen. Software. This is a big one. I'll talk about this in a bit on the next page, but getting access to software at home is going to be key, I think, particularly this year. You'll need a pen drive, particularly when you start recording. You might find that you end up creating some quite large files, so possibly easier than using the internet is to have a pen drive for transferring large files between the studio, the classroom and home. Software. So, about 20 years ago, we made a decision to teach all music technology and digital music production courses using Logic Pro X on Apple Mac computers. We did this because I consider it's generally the overall industry standard, even though there are other ones just as good, whatever. But most musicians I know, professional musicians I know, use Macs. And of them, most of them that I know use Logic Pro X. There are other ones, as I said, but all lessons will be taught using Logic Pro X. It is an industry standard, and it is a good platform to get to know. Unfortunately, it's only available on Macs. It's 199 quid, and you need to buy a Mac. There is a 90-day free trial, so it is expensive. So we are not expecting everyone to be able to have this, so we need to look at some alternatives when you're working at home. Alternative one is GarageBand. If you've got an iPad or an iPhone, you can run. It's a simplified version of Logic, but will get you going to learn the basics. It's free, but you'll need to have the iPad or the iPhone. It's going to be limited on iPhone what you can do, but we can make a start using that. If you want to work at home on a PC, there's loads of options. At the moment, we are recommending a bit of software called Ableton Live. If you end up carrying on doing this at university, you will find that you'll probably get the option of using Logic or Ableton. It works on a Mac and PC, so you could transfer work between home and here easily. The education price at the moment is 191 quid. You get 90-day free trial as well to try it out. There's also a light version. So that is an alternative. But I don't want anyone to buy anything at all at present. There's no need. But we do need to find a way over the next few weeks of getting you set up at home. There's loads of other options. Pro Tools, which is a pretty well industry standard for mixers, people who are just finishing, and a lot of studios, big studios that use audio record bands. I just think Logic's a better all-rounder, but that's just an opinion. FL Studio, loads of people use that now. Very good. Cubase, we used to teach on that right at the start. A lot of schools use Cubase. Luna, a new one. There's Reaper. A lot of people use Reaper now, and many others. There's loads of them. But what you want to be sure, if you do want to use one of these, then be sure that you will be able to complete the course. It's got enough in it to complete the course. I'm sure it will have, but we just need to check. But lessons in class will be taught using Logic, just to be clear about that. How will we teach you? How will we check how you're doing? You're going to be doing exercises each week that will develop all the production skills you need. What we find is every year people arrive. Some are like grade 8 classical pianist or been producing for 5 years. Some people have never ever touched a bit of software or done any music in their life. So generally speaking, though, people have areas they're good at, they're not so good at. So we're going to try and build up all these different areas and check. We're going to do at least every half term. We'll have some tests to see what you've taken in, and find out what your weak bits are and where you could do with some extra work. And then the overall grade is you'll for each unit you'll be given a assignment to do, and quite a big assignment to be completed by the end of the year. Around Easter time we have to finish this, and you'll get a grade of either pass, merit or distinction, or unclassified if you don't get there, but you would be given an opportunity to resubmit if that was the case. And through the year we'll try and show you what a pass, merit, distinction will look like, so you know what level you're currently working at. So this is a 2-year course, just to be really clear. You only get the qualification at the end of the 2 years. In year 1 you're going to do sequencing, recording and listening. They're the 3 units. So I'll take you for sequencing for 2 hours, listening for 1 hour, and Will take you for recording for 2 hours. In the second year you'll study composition, mixing, and we do a career unit as well. It's 5 hours a week, 34 weeks a year. The qualification you get at the end of it, you'll be doing the level 3. So you get an extended certificate in the creative music industries awarded by RSL, which is the equivalent of an A level. The UCAS points you will get will be between 16 and 48, same as an A level. So distinction will be 48. Okay, so now the units. So sequencing 1 is basically using a computer digital audio workstation to program music, and we have a list of things we have to go through: drum programming, synthesis, sampling, editing, automation, effects. Some of this you might find quite hard at first, but just got to go through it slowly, bit by bit, and it will all start to make sense. We taught a lot of people now, and even the more you do this, you get familiar with all the things. You can keep going over any exercise you struggle with. Keep going over it till you get it. We're going to be making lots of films this year for you to go over in your own time to study. And if there's something you don't understand, you just ask, and we'll explain it. Main thing is not to think, I don't get this, and get concerned. Recording with William. So this is, basically how you get a sound that a musician is making in a room onto a record. It's as simple as that, really. But there's lots of things you need to understand, like how microphones work, how mixing desks work, different mic techniques to record in, different ways to record drums, guitars, etc. Gain structure, which is about how you make sure you don't distort, you get the best possible sound down, then you can edit it, which is next. And then mixing, which is kind of finishing off, making it sound as good as you can for the world. So it's just the process of getting audio sound onto the computer in the best possible way you can. The listening unit, I think you find very useful. It's basically one of the main skills you need as a producer is to be able to listen to music, break it down into sections, and recreate that. Say, I like that snare drum. Understand musical structures, how music works. This is a very important unit, I think. We'll also study the history of music production in that, how it's developed over the years, different styles, and really getting you to develop your own musical taste, what you like, what you don't like, but be able to understand why. So that's the 3 for the first year. Second year, you go on to composition, which is more music theory and working on different composition styles, techniques in different styles, and then you have to compose 2 pieces of music, I think, for the unit. Mixing. So this is how you get the tracks to sound great. So EQ, reverb, delay, dynamic effects will all make sense next year, but how to make your music sound as professional as it possibly can, because it's going out into the world and sounds good. And then we do a career unit. Lots of ex-students have gone on to various careers in music, not all in music by any stretch of the imagination, but various different careers people have created for themselves over the years: composing, producing, engineer, live sound. There's been lots. So it's basically helping you decide: do you want to go to university? If not, what else do you want to do? And actually making a plan to have the best career you can. There's going to be lots you don't understand. For a lot of you, it's going to be really new. So just main thing is don't worry about anything. Keep communication channels open. We'll get back to you as soon as we possible. That's all our email addresses. And we hope you enjoy it. And if you stick it, you'll get good at this. Anyway, thanks.